What is good, everybody? So, plays like this within the Saints offense, things like this are it's a prime example of why the Saints offense is just it's broken right now. So, obviously this play is from the Vikings game. Jameis Winston at quarterback, and it's first down and 10, you're in the red zone. Every play matters even more at this point, right? So, you're playing the Minnesota Vikings, whose defensive coordinator is Brian Flores. Brian Flores likes to bring a bunch of guys to the line of scrimmage, and he likes to send heat on the quarterback. This is what Brian Flores does. This is what the Saints prepped for all week, and so things like this just kind of blow my mind a little bit. So obviously, this play here, Saints are 2 by 2, one running back in the backfield. This is obviously man-to-man coverage, right? Cover zero, man-to-man coverage. There are no safeties back here. They are sending the heat, and they are trusting their guys one-on-one versus the Saints receivers. Now, let's count the guys up at the line of scrimmage for the Vikings. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys at the line of scrimmage for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, obviously, this guy right here is going to be man to man on Jawan Johnson if he goes out on a route, and he does end up doing that. And then Harrison Smith would be responsible for AK if he were to go on a route, which he does end up doing that. So even if you take those two away, which they do take them away because, like I said, Jawan Johnson and Kamara go on routes. You still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that you have to account for. Okay, with only 5 blockers because, like I said, Kamara goes out on a route. So that leaves 5 offensive linemen against 6 Minnesota Vikings players. And now, when you have a situation like this, you have to know as an offense, as an offensive coordinator, as a quarterback, there is going to be somebody unblocked. And when there is somebody unblocked, you better have an answer for pressure, a hot read. A hot read is just a read that the quarterback has or that is built into the offense for when you have a free rusher or a guy blitzing that isn't accounted for. Whether it's a quick flat route, a quick slant route, something quick to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. Okay, so let me just go ahead and hit play and show you what happens. How this play turns out. Ball is snapped, unblocked defender, and Jameis just kind of has to get rid of it. So let me go ahead and switch over to the end zone view. All right, so here at the end zone view, so like I said, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then another guy off to the right who you can't see. But like I said, we talked about 2 of those are accounted for. You don't really have to worry about them because their men that they're responsible for are going to go into routes. So really, if you're the Saints offense, you have to worry about this guy, this guy, this guy, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 versus 5 offensive linemen because, for whatever reason, they decide to send Kamara in a route, and we'll talk about that in a second. So what the Saints are going to do is they're going to slide their protection to the right. So in a perfect world, it's going to go something like this. You would have McCoy being able to pick up this guy, Ruiz, number 40, and then Ram, number 98. And that would take care of everybody on this side. And then over here, you have Hurst blocking number 97 here. And then over here with Pete, this is where it kind of gets, a little confusing on my part because so offensive linemen are taught to block the inside guy first because they are considered the most dangerous. But it looks to me like Pete was expecting help from the running back, and you can kind of see Kamara looking that way pre-snap as well. So I don't know if this was like a miscommunication or what, but Pete ends up kicking out here to this guy, and like I said, I really do think he's expecting the running back to take on this linebacker because in a traditional half slide protection, that would be the case here, right? And then you'd have Kamara block this guy, then everybody would be accounted for in a perfect world. So let me go ahead and press play here. And you'll see right away this linebacker right here is going to drop out. The guy that McCoy would have been responsible for, like I said, in a perfect world, he drops out, but it doesn't really matter at this point because he was lined up on the line of scrimmage, so the offensive line has got to account for him. They don't know whether he is going to drop or come. They don't know, right? So they have to account for him, but he ends up dropping out. And then you'll see over here, number 44 ends up coming free because, Kamara dips out on a route. But, the protection thing, they screw it up on this play, in my opinion. But the even bigger problem is knowing the protection they have, because to me, this is empty protection, right? Because the running back, it's scat protection because the running back is going out on a route, so it's just a 5-man protection. So as the quarterback, you have to know that. But at the same time, I don't really see an option built in to handle the pressure. You know, there's no hot option, no quick throw for Winston to get rid of it to. And if we go back here, to this view, you'll see like all of these guys are running routes down the field. Like they're running four verticals. Where do you want Winston to throw it to? This is bad. This is bad play design. Not even play design. It's bad. This is just bad offense. There has to be, especially like I said, when you're playing a Brian Flores type of defensive coordinator who likes to send pressure, you have to have an answer for pressure built in every single play. And I don't know if that's what the Saints were trying to do with Kamara here, having him slip in to this route, but that is just, if that's the case and he was the true hot read for pressure, then that's just sloppy to me because number one, it takes too long to develop. And number two, he has to work his way through all of this mesh right here to even come out on the other side. And even then, his defender is right there on the line of scrimmage, so he's going to be blanketed either way. And by the time you can see, by the time AK even gets out into his route, Winston has already got to get rid of the ball and he's getting, hit from behind. And to me, this is just a kind of a combination of, the play caller not having something built into this for this situation given, or if the quarterback, I don't know if they let Jameis check into certain things because, you know, it, you would think he would check into something quick to get rid of the ball because, they're obviously sending everybody. But, again, this is just another example on a long list of, things this year that have been wrong with the Saints offense. But to me, this is elementary stuff that is even taught at the high school level, quick reads, hot reads. So, just like one more time I'll press play. I mean, I don't understand what they expect Jameis Winston or whoever the quarterback is on this play, what they expect him to do. Like I said, you obviously know they're sending heat, and yet all of our routes are, 10, 15 yards down the field. And by the time that there's anything, resembling a check down, Jameis is already getting blindsided in his back. It's a wonder. Carr's, already been hurt twice this year. Now, granted, that's mostly his own fault for holding the ball too long, but, some of the other hits he's taken, could have compounded and, attributed it to those injuries, I guess you could say. But at the end of the day, with simple mistakes like this, it doesn't matter if it's Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, Jake Hayner. It doesn't matter. You can't win with offensive football like this. And you pair that with the recent regression of the Saints defense, and it's just makes for just an ugly, nasty, sloppy team all around. But it is what it is at this point. We got what we got, and it is what it is, and that's what it shall be. Appreciate you guys watching as usual. Peace.